Hello, Derek here. I'm in County Longford, the very middle of Ireland, and I've been feeling a little bit cooked up lately. It's a very, very long time since I went camping in particular, and so I thought to myself, I really got to get out there at my tent. And of course, I am living within the same restrictions as maybe you that's watching this video, so I can't really go far from my home, but I do have this field, this rather wild looking field. I asked the farmer if it was okay for me to pitch my tent in the middle of it, and here we are. We're gonna go on a micro adventure. I've been talking a lot about micro adventures the last couple of years. It's something I stole from a man named Alistair Humphreys. He came up with this word or this phrase to essentially describe a quick overnight trip in your local area that doesn't really cost any money. A micro adventure. And according to Alistair, and I found this to be true also, you can find the same sense of adventure and excitement on a micro adventure as you might find on a bigger adventure, let's say on the other side of the world, somewhere that seems a lot more exotic and different than our own doorstep. So, as I said, I definitely agree with Alistair. I love taking micro adventures, and I recommend that you do too. And today, as I said, we're going to camp in this field as part of this one. So I invite you to join me. Let's go. I know that not everyone will have somewhere like this on their doorstep. I certainly didn't grow up with this, and as a matter of fact, it's why I moved to the countryside when I moved back to Ireland. I was living in Mallinhead, now I'm in County Longford, and it's because there's lots of this type of scenery on your doorstep, not just for camping but for getting outside for a walk, you know. But in saying that, when I was living in Dublin, I was camping here, there and everywhere. You know, I'd often camp up on the hill in Howth when I was visiting my brother's house. I'd often camp when I was visiting my other brother then. I'd also hike up into the hillside, just a 20-minute walk from his house, and I'd camp there too. So, you know, if you get a little bit creative within reason, there's always somewhere to go wild camping. You just have to you just have to bring yourself to do it. I know the fear factor comes into it sometimes for people, especially if you're new to this, but once you start doing it, you'll do it more. It looks like I'm going to be sharing the night with these two behind me. As I said before, I have permission to stay in this particular spot on this field, but it's often the case when you're wild camping that you need to find a spot, and I often get messages and emails about this as to how do you find an ideal wild camping spot. There's no exact science to it at all. It's really just a case of finding a spot that's out of the way, that feels safe, that's not under any trees or branches that might fall down. It's not at the bottom of a hill where you might end up in a flooded area if it rains. But as I said, it's really just a case of staying out of the way where you won't bother people and in a spot that you feel comfortable in. So if you can get a view like this one here, it's even better. You might be wondering, this is like a pocket rocket stove. You can get them on the Outdoor Adventure website, Outdoor Adventure Store website. They're real cheap. I have different types of stoves. I like this one because it's small and it's simple, and it doesn't matter in terms of functionality, because when it's not windy like this, any type of stove is really going to work in these conditions, you know. This feels like quite a shock to the system being out here. Shock is a bit dramatic. I'm very surprised with the way I'm feeling, because it's almost as though I forgot that camping exists. You know, these type of trips, it's been so long, right, for all of us, that you forget that these days are coming back. That's it, my friends. Thank you very much for joining me in this video for Outdoor Adventure Store. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was only one night, it was quick, it was simple, it cost nothing, nada, but it was really enjoyable. And I felt excited out there in my tent last night, even though there was nothing really dangerous around, there was nothing to occupy my mind in terms of worry. I felt excited enough to have that feeling of being alive, you know what I mean? So really enjoyable trip. I appreciate it that you were here to watch it, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to all future videos I make on this channel. See you later.